Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carrie. Glad you could be here today to have a conversation about your baggage. Let's talk about the one time it's okay to lose your baggage. When we told the kids we were getting divorced, we told them that we had had 25 years of loving each other and creating a family, and we got them. And that's a successful 25 years of a life together with two beautiful, healthy children. That was a successful relationship. But now we had realized at this point in time that we wanted different things. And this did not negate a wonderful 25 years of creating this family and loving each other. And no matter what happened in the future, we would always be a family. Sure, it would look different now, and we were sorry for that. But we would always be there for each other because that's what families do. This was a best case scenario situation, and I realize not everyone has that situation. But we can still aim to be our best and use what we learn as we grow. And we do not want to bring all of the baggage of that past relationship into our new relationships. That's what I want to discuss today. If that's at all interesting or intriguing to you, I hope you will stick around because we can always do better when we know better. And I think a conversation might enlighten us a little bit today. Hope you'll stick around. I realize that not everybody's marriage ends without hurt and bitterness. That's the tough one. But when there are children involved, especially when there are children involved, we have to be our best selves in that situation. We have to rise above our own egos, above things that hurt us or made us feel less, and think about other people too. You know, I hear stories of people using their children as pawns or go-betweens in an adult relationship. And I find it really infuriating because in the same way that you need to learn to be a grown, mature person in a relationship to have a mature, grown-up relationship, you have to be even more mature and adult when our relationships end and there are children involved. Because it's not about you. Nothing is ever just about you ever again once you've had children. People feel that when their babies are born, that everything has now changed and there's something bigger than they are. I hear this from new parents all the time. I felt like I was the same person, but now I was going to walk around with my heart literally on the outside of my body for the rest of my life, where it could get hurt and I couldn't always protect it. And that is very painful, but also very beautiful and very true. And when the relationship that brought those children into the world ends, you still have to protect those children because everything you do affects them. And you have to make this the best you can for the people you created. You have to be the grown-up. You have to have your priorities in order, whether you are hurt or whether you are relieved to be without this person. Doesn't matter, because it will be changing everything in the life of your children. And it changes who they are to their core. And it can change them a little bit if you handle it well, or it can traumatize them if you handle it poorly. So this is our baggage to deal with, obviously, and it becomes much less heavy as baggage if we do this the best we can when we have the opportunities. And that's why I bring it up, because this is a big piece of baggage for a lot of people when they're out there meeting new people. A bad relationship with your ex, kids that are not open to you bringing somebody else around, fighting, arguing over who spends time and where kids are and all that. This is the stuff that really does affect a new relationship if it's not all sorted out in order and being dealt with maturely. So that's where this is all coming from, just so you know. And then back to my point. You meet somebody new. All of that. Are you bringing all of that with you? Are you bringing that to the table with somebody who wasn't there before? This is a fresh start. Are you going to let it stand and grow and breathe as a new relationship, or is all that weight coming with to pile on it? And the way it's not fair to put all that upon your children, it's not fair to put it upon a partner who wasn't even there for that chapter of your life. I think it's our job to do the work before we put ourselves out there again to start dating and meeting new people and informing new relationships. We need to be honest with ourselves and figure out what role we played in the end of our last relationship or marriage, because nothing really ever ends because of one person. I mean, rarely. And this is a question I ask of my divorced matchmaking clients all the time. Have you done the work? Have you figured out your part in how this last relationship ended? And I love it when they tell me that they've seen a therapist and they do know where they went wrong. It's not about placing blame, but it is about taking responsibility. I have had a couple of occasions where I've spoken to people and was really surprised to find out that it truly was one other person who just decided, nope, this was not for them. This whole family thing was not what they wanted. They made a mistake. But I'm still only hearing one side of the story, so who's to say if that's accurate? Most of the time, though, relationships are two people, and our job is to learn from those so that we can grow. And that's why you have to ask yourself those hard questions. Did you learn something? Did you learn what you need? Did you learn what you now want? How you need to be loved? Did you learn who you are? Maybe even through the breakup, you learned something about yourself that you can take with you moving forward. What was good for you at one time may not be good for who you are now. We're not the same people. We grow, we change, not always together with a partner, right? That's hard work. That takes a lot of communication. So are you a great communicator this time? Was your partner before? Were you great at communicating with each other? That's something to make sure you have worked on and have become proficient at, so that as you put yourself out there meeting new people, this won't happen to you again. You'll be more suited to deal with all types of communications. So I have a playlist that's about relationships, and I have a playlist, lots of them, about dating. This one falls into both. I'm going to have this in two different playlists because how we handle relationships affects how we date. And it affects who we choose when we're dating to be our next partner. And I think it affects our dates. The actual date itself is affected if you come in with that heaviness, with that baggage. And we don't have to bring all parts of ourselves to a first date. I had a client and she would say, you know what, I am who I am. I'm going to bring all of me and put it on the table because if he doesn't like that, you know what, that's who I am. That I should know. And I said, maybe not. Maybe not bring all of you to date number 1, or maybe even 2. Maybe let it come out slowly in that we are all different with different people. We have different parts of ourselves. And there's something else to think about here too, which is people have to earn the right to some of our information. I don't share that story about how we told our kids we were getting divorced with anybody until I've known them for a bit. I'm telling it to you because we've been friends for a while now. But I certainly wouldn't bring this up on a first date. On a first date, what do I say? I say, you know what? He's a fantastic man. He's a great dad. We're still friends. He's very happily with another partner. He's always going to be a part of my family. I have nothing but goodwill towards him. We just wanted different things for the second half of our life. And that's what my date on a first or second date is entitled to of my story. So I didn't have to bring my baggage of how that went down or where that became more challenging or trauma from youth. Those things just don't come with us on dates. I would venture to say that the crappy day we had at work, or how we didn't get the promotion we wanted last week, or how we didn't know this job that we have was going to be so challenging, all of those things don't have to come out on date number 1. Of course, you're not going to be fake or bring a persona with you that's not you. You have to be yourself. BYOB. Be yourself, only better. Meaning bring the best parts with you, right, to the beginning of a relationship until you know this person needs to know more about you because things are moving forward. And that's what I wanted to share with you. Baggage has no place on a date. Take it to the airport with you and put it in the overhead bin and travel lightly to your dates with your curiosity, your kindness, and your willingness to get to know somebody and have a great time. That will serve you best, I guarantee it. All right, I hope you'll check out this episode about communicating. It really is key. It's the only way that you get a relationship that moves forward. Appreciate you stopping by, and I'll look forward to next time. And until then, have a good one.